Thank you for joining me for yet another unboxing video, and today we have more RPG goodness. This time it's the Cypher System Starter Set, an introduction to the flexible, fast-paced, easy-to-run tabletop role-playing game that can power any adventure you imagine, by Monty Cook and Sean K. Reynolds. Run any adventure you can imagine with ease and flexibility. The Cypher System is the critically acclaimed role-playing game system that powers any campaign in any genre. Lauded for its elegance, ease of use, flexibility, and narrative focus, the Cypher System unleashes the creativity of GMs and players. The rules are unintrusive, but give you the power and sophistication to create any story, character, or adventure you can imagine. Whether you're a veteran gamer or new to tabletop RPGs, the Cypher System will be your new favorite game. And this starter set will have you playing it in no time, and tells you what's inside the box. Run any game you can imagine with ease and flexibility. Horror, cyberpunk, fantasy, sci-fi, post-apocalyptic, you name it. The Cypher System can do it all. This was released by Monty Cook Games in 2024. For more information, you can go to cypher-systems.com or montycookgames.com. It's for ages 13 plus, and it's for 2 to 6 layers. All right, so let's crack this bad boy open and see what kind of goodness we have on the inside. So we got, all right, we got a box. Nothing else in there, so we can put that to the side. So we got a couple things, so let's push that to the side. And let's start off with the Player's Book by Monty Cook and Sean K. Reynolds. Read this first, so I guess this is where we're going to start for. And then it says, read this second, so that must be second. All right, so let's take a look at this. It says Cypher System Starter Set Player's Book. Again, this table of contents right in there. Then we've got the welcome page, what to do next, looking at pre-made characters, going over those things. 8 basic rules. There are only 8 basic rules you need to know to play Cypher System. 4 character types: Warrior, Adept, Explorer, Speaker. You have 3 main stats: might, speed, and intellect. Players make all rolls. Some of your character abilities cost points from your pools. When you roll, you can make it easier by spending 3 points from the appropriate pool. Taking damage, resting lets you recover points. You can become skilled in just about any kind of action like climbing. Then you got character types: might, speed, and intellect. Edge. Players make all rolls. Breaks it down. Task difficulty 0 to 10. Going through here, rolling 17 or higher, re-rolls, rolling a 1, GM intrusion, activating abilities, applying effort to damage, retrying tasks. Distances, damage track, taking damage, recovery rolls, skills, assets. An example of play. Part 4, ciphers. Part 5, character and advancement, increasing capabilities, moving towards perfection, extra effort, skills, other options. Equipment, price categories: inexpensive, moderately expensive, very expensive, and exorbitant. Weapons, armor, equipment tables, different types of modern equipment, from backpacks to light handguns to lightweight body armor, luxury card, machete, medium handgun, down to used card, trail ration, straitjacket, spy, microphone, all those different things. Continues going on. Fantasy equipment: arrows, backpacks, great swords. Sci-fi equipment, you're talking about bodysuits, backpacks, crowbars, gravity regulator, heavy blaster rifle, hovercrafts, robot servants, wrist computer. Part 7, modifying and building characters. Your character sentence. Give a little description of what type of character you are, and what makes the core beliefs of your character. Modifying existing characters from different systems. Okay, so it's like they said, it's inobtrusive. Character type: warrior, first tier warrior. You can be a warrior. Okay. An adept. This looks like some sort of spellcaster. Resonance, hedge magic. Yep, magic user. All right, so they call that an adept. You can also be an explorer. Stat pools: might, speed, intellect 10, 9, 9. Then you could be a speaker. All right, first tier speaker, effort, genius, Cypher use. Using equipment. Character descriptor, exiled, clever, fast, learned, graceful, sharp-eyed, stealthy, honorable, strong. Character focus, bears a hot halo of fire, commands mental powers, fuses flesh and steel, masters defense, masters weaponry, moves like a cat. Needs no weapon, never says die, pilots starcraft, solves mysteries, talks to machines, works miracles. Last but not least, glossary of key game concepts, from action, armor, character, damage, difficulty, ease, edge, effort, hinder, inability, level, pool, practiced, roll, round, specialized, stat, task, trained, and turn. Any character, any campaign, if you can imagine it, the Cypher system makes it easy, and that's for the actual core rule book for the Cypher system. So, and all the other books that are currently available from, I have that Stay Alive book. All right, so again, for more information about Cypher system, of course, you go to montycookgames.com. So that is your first book, which is your player's book, gives you background information about the system itself and how it plays. Then we're going to move to the Game Master's book. Read this second. All right, let's see what this has in there. Running the game, being a game master versus rules versus the story, setting difficulty ratings. We talk about impossible difficulties, skipping the roll, best of the rules, awarding experience points, armor, combat between PCs, combat between NPCs, cover, damage track, defending, GMs don't make rolls, falling, GM intrusion, healing, health, helping, initiative, interacting with creatures, surprise, task pools and skills, trying again, visibility, waiting on your action. If you're a Cypher, your limitations, your levels and effect, random ciphers. So you got ciphers here. So roll on a D100, so 2D10, from a 1 to 6, analeptic, all the way down to weapon enhancement, teleporter, strength boost, stem, speed boost, all those different things. Moving on, using ciphers, combat, effort, enhancers, all the different abilities that a cipher can have. GM intrusions, refusing GM intrusion, free GM intrusion, group GM intrusion. Creatures, understanding the game stats, level, description, motive, environment, health, damage inflicted, armor, movement, modification, combat, interaction, use, loot, and GM intrusion. Abomination, Dionysus, devil, fusion hound, war droid, a zombie, creature, short stats. All right. Adventures, running your first Cypher adventure, creeping ooze, a fantasy adventure. So they give you a couple of adventures that you could run through. Don't want to ruin it. There's a small little map for that. That would be a fantasy one. Zambit Station, a sci-fi adventure. So you have a fantasy adventure, a sci-fi adventure. Okay, so you could do, that's it. All right, so it's 32 pages of that book. Again, that is your Game Master book. You start, read that one second, and you had 32 pages, so 32 and 32. So you got 64 pages of information here about how to start running the Cypher system. You got those right there, so let's pull that down right here. You also have, before you start, it says right here, let's take a look at that. A little late. Here's how to use the cool stuff in this set. Character sheets, player book, Game Master's book, map, cards, dice, cheat sheet. There you go, that's your, before you start, got that. Here's our cheat sheet, armor, type, weapon damage, task difficulty. Pools. Your pool is the most basic instrument of static stat. Your 3 stat pools are might, intellect, and speed. Effort. You apply effort when your character is really working hard to succeed. Applying effort represents pushing yourself physically and or mentally, and it costs. But for every level of effort you apply, you ease your attempt by 1 step. To apply effort, spend 3 points from the applicable pool. Edge. When a task requires you to spend points from a stat pool, your edge for that stat reduces the cost. This also means it reduces the cost of applying effort. Assets. An asset is anything that helps in a significant way, including a tool or piece of equipment, aid from another character, or circumstance that benefit the attempt. If your GM agrees that you have an asset, it eases the task. Skills represent general areas of expertise and are defined loosely and broadly. If your GM agrees that your skill applies, it eases the task by 1 step. Some characters become specialized in a skill, which eases the task by 2 steps. All right, so there's your Cypher system. Cheat sheet. You also get 2 dice. You get a D20 and a D6. Both are blue. Very cool. You have some cards. The experience deck, the XP deck. So take a look at this. Okay, it says XP deck. The deck is a subset of a full deck of XP cards available from the MCG shop, montycookgames.com/store. Okay. Player tip: use about half of your XP on rerolls and half for advancement. There's player tips on each of these cards, which are cool. Okay, this one says okay, so that's your XP. So flip this over, see what it says here. 1 XP. Make sure each PC gets some time in the spotlight every session. If a character fails a non-combat task and wants to try again, they can do so as an action, but they must apply effort on the retry. When a player uses their action to help someone with a task, it gives them an asset on the task, or 2 assets if the helper is trained in that skill. When a player rolls a natural 1, you can use GM intrusion immediately or a short time later without awarding any XP. Aim for 1 GM intrusion per player per session. It's okay to remind the players of something they missed or forgot. You want them to find stuff and finish the adventure. Most creatures on their turn can take an action and move an immediate distance or move a short distance as their entire action. You can easily create a simple NPC or creature for an encounter just by giving it a level. You can spice up an easy battle with a GM intrusion of more enemies arriving. Give out ciphers at least once a session. When a group takes a rest, it is good time for this. Okay, so these are just ideas. Experience deck. So tips for the GM. That's cool. I like that actually. That's very, very cool. And then you have the intrusion deck. GM intrusions are a unique way for Cypher system game masters to inject twist, complication, and interesting challenges for players. Although it's always best to tailor intrusions to the situation at hand, if you're stuck for an idea, you can use these cards. Each card has 3 intrusions. 1 for combat encounter, 1 for an interaction, 1 for a miscellaneous event. Just draw a card and use the intrusion appropriate to the current situation. At times, you might have to adjust the specifics of the intrusion on the card. It says, at times you might have to adjust the specific intrusion on the card to fit the situation. Other times you might have to change exactly when you make the intrusion during the encounter or situation. Sometimes the intrusion just doesn't fit at all, and you should draw a new card. As always, GM intrusions are meant to be fun and interesting, not punitive, to make the story better. This mini deck is a subset of full deck of 100 GM intrusion cards available from the end. Again, go to montycookgames.com store. Okay, that's cool. Intrusion deck. I have to pick those up. That's cool. So in other words, all right, so you use these cards, you pick up the card, give you a way to change up the story. So if you're having a combat, the foe hits the character's hand, tasks using that hand are extended by 2 steps for the next hour. Interaction, NPC wants the character to reveal a relevant personal secret, true feelings of a certain topic they're carrying on, a specific item, and so on. Before continuing the interaction, the character can lie, but the lie will have to convince or fool the NPC. Miscellaneous. The character sees something that is obviously a secret message or omen intended for them. So again, this is just stuff to spice up your adventure. Very cool. I like that. That's cool. So you get that deck there. You get a couple cards from the intrusion deck. Again, the full decks can be purchased at, and you get a little thing, a little bag to keep them in. Again, you want to give experience to your players, and you want that. Again, these are small decks. The full decks you can purchase through montycookgames.com. And then you have your different pre-generated characters front and back. So let's take a look at this one here. So we have Vemel. Gives you background information about them, other PCs. This one tells you here tactics that they use. All right, flip it over. Here's your character sheet. Vemel. It's a stealthy explorer who moves like a cat. Again, pool is 12, 21, 9. Might, speed, intellect. Tier and effort, experience points, recovery rolls, damage track. Let's see down here. DFT indicate whether something is from your descriptor, type, or focus. You can ignore those symbols while playing. Then you've got skills, strength, lies, or trickery, balancing, movement, related tasks other than health, or like stealth, like climbing, jumping, or running, inability. Special abilities that you might have, your attacks, armor, ciphers, and your different equipment that you have, and you have 100 credits. So that's one of the characters that they pre-made characters right there for you. So that is right there, that is Vemel. Then you also have Pelter, which is, again, an explorer. Pilots a StarCraft. So this is for your science fiction adventure. So I'll say that's a sci-fi adventure. That's that gentleman right there. So blue is for sci-fi, tan is for fantasy. Hawa talks to machines. He's an adept. Oh, wow. That's kind of creepy. And then you have this person right here. You have a warrior, Grunket, honorable warrior, fuses flesh and steel. Again, all the stats are set up exactly the same way. And then you have a character named Arianos, exiled explorer, master of weaponry. And that's that character. So the blue, science fiction. Now we're going to take a look at brown. Vemel, again, stealthy explorer who moves like a cat. So using the same, only this time using it, again, same characters, just made for fantasy instead. And this would be Ralin. He's an adept, so it's a magic user or magician. Grunket, warrior, master of defense. So they give you 10 pre-made characters. This guy here, this is Ethan, clever, speaker, works miracles. He's a miracle man. And then are Arnos, exiled explorer, and a weapon master. So there you go. And last but not least, we have this right here. Let's take a look what this is. Oh, it's maps for the two games. So pull this out real quick. Again, it's paper, so it's not the easiest to. So you got Creeping Ooze. So this is your actual adventure. It's a map of your adventure. So you got a total of 1 to 6F. 7. You have 7 rooms to explore in. That's cool. And you got your key at the bottom. Shattered Seal, Foul Well, Temple of Pillars, Shrouded Corpse Crypt, Ritual Chambers, sarcophagus rooms, and of course stairs to the Dark City. That's your map right there. And a copy of that map which I showed you, which was in your GM. And then you have Entombed in Ice, which is your science fiction, one. So again, here you got another. Looks like we got 3, 3, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 4. I got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 threes, 2 twos, 1, 1, and 1. Well, got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 threes. So you got 1, 2, 2. So you got 2 twos, a 1, 5 threes, and a 4. All right. And keys. It says docking to, revived guards, hatchery, and alien captain. Okay. that's your map. So everything you see here is everything that's included. And this concludes our unboxing of the Cypher System Starter Set, an introduction to the flexible, fast-paced, easy-to-run tabletop role-playing game that can power any adventure you imagine, by Monty Cook and Sean K. Reynolds. Again, for more information, you can go to cypher-systems.com or montycookgames.com, and this was released in 2024. And as always, thank you so much for joining me for this unboxing video. It's truly appreciated. If you enjoyed the video, you could always give us a thumbs up and leave a comment below. You could also hit that subscribe button. This way you're kept up to date as to any time we release new content to the page. As always, thank you so much for joining us. Be safe, be well, enjoy the remainder of your day, and we'll catch you on the next unboxing video.